Okay, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm making this for a friend who shall remain unnamed, Christina. Well, unnamed person. She wanted to know, they wanted to know how to remove their head, and they looked on YouTube and they couldn't find a video on that, so I'm here to provide that. I guess her overall goal was to go from this like unhappy living guy to quite happy headless dead guy or girl. She's unnamed. Going from he or she unhappy living person to he or she happy dead person. So we're here to think about the options. Probably the first one that I thought about was chainsaw. It's very messy. Difficult to do on your own, but definitely doable. If you have a nice solid wood table like I do, you can maybe lay it there, and you could do a lot of duct tape or rope to hold it in place. And then you want to tie something around the switch to keep it on and running. And from that point, it's really your choice. I don't know if I would want to see the chainsaw when I got my head cut off. I mean, you could fall backwards onto it or lunge forward. I mean, if you lunge forward, you're probably going to get it down right. If you lunge backward, you might go too high or too low, and well, that's just embarrassing. I've seen this in a movie before, where a child was on the back tire of a car. The car backed up and ran over the head, and that's the way to do it. I mean, you should really not be so selfish about it, because that's a mess. I mean, no one wants to clean up your brain matter. I mean, I guess if you do it to someone they don't like, someone whose day you've been wanting to ruin. So I don't know, maybe your old boss, maybe he was kind of a prick. Just lay in the back of his car in the morning and crush. There goes his day. Sorry, old boss. Another one I've seen before is with the elevator doors. I like that one, where they have the two little elevator doors and the person sticks their head through it, and it's just going up or down. And eventually it gets to that point where it decapitates them. So that's pretty cool, but more than likely it'll be impossible to do in today's. First you gotta break the cables. That's a lot of work. You need some explosive. Even if the wires blew off, you still gotta worry about the elevator brakes, the emergency brakes kicking in, which from what I hear are pretty good these days. So there's a lot to stop you. I saw this in what I thought was a good movie up until the end. This movie that shall remain unnamed. At the very end of it, I guess the hero of the movie, or I guess the victim / hero type thing, had laid down the killer on a table and put his head in a microwave that was open. And he rigged it so the microwave would work and run with it open. And for some reason, when he did that whole thing, his head blew up, and there's blood everywhere. And this right here is just confetti stuff, but there was blood everywhere. And I don't think that'll work, but I guess you can give it a try. I mean, you can always have someone there as a backup, so if it doesn't work, they can just cut your head off or something. Because, I mean, you don't want to go there like that. As someone who tried, it's embarrassing. What I've seen also in movies, which I think is really cheesy and not gonna happen, is when they're driving really fast on a motorbike or one of those snow vehicles. What do you call them? Jet ski? No, that's for water. Either way, they're driving really fast, and they drive under a fence that has a wire in it. And when you drive by, their head slices off like it's fucking butter or something. So that's a cool thing to look into. I saw a documentary on how to commit suicide. But what they did is they talked about jumping off a building, but putting piano wire on your limbs. In this case, just around your neck. And so it'll be a pretty clean cut. I mean, and if you want an open casket, then you shouldn't do it from very high. Do it from too high, your head might hit the concrete and pop or something. You don't want that, so do it on a not so high building, maybe like 3 stories, and try to do it over their lawn, maybe. That way there's a soft landing for your head, so they can sew your head back on for the open casket and look really. So jump off building, piano wire, slice, slice, not that other one where your head kind of tore in half. That would be kind of not so great. One that I think I've seen in some movies, which is always kind of cool. I mean, if you want your head to go with like an explosion, you can put a grenade in your mouth and wait for it to explode. But always in the movies though, when they do that, their head like goes to like normal and like cracks in and it blows up like that. So like pieces of their head are still hanging on their neck and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not a guarantee that it'll work. So I want to put that out there. Yeah. There's the shotgun thing too. That works in movies, but I don't think a shotgun can blow your head off entirely. Maybe if you rig like 4 or 5 shotguns up in a circle and have them all blast you at once, that's a possibility. Aside from the obvious little swords, glass, guillotines, buzzsaws, chainsaws, you know, all of the obvious things that you could cut your head off with. If you saw the Saddam Hussein hanging, where the large crowd hanged him, you'll see that his head, clearly his head came dislocated from his body. His skin did not tear, but his head did. So if you don't want your head or your skin to tear and you just want your head just dislocated from your body, that's something to look into. Just need a nice angry mob that don't like you or something. If you have a car, you can drive really fast in your car and wait until you get maybe one of those big UPS vans or something big like that, and you stick your head out the window. You know, that's you with your head out the window, and you hit a semi and it'll like come by and sweep your head right off. So that's something to look into. If you have any ideas, just leave them in the comment box below. Remember, this is for an unnamed person, Christina, and so this is for her. She was wondering how to remove her head, and YouTube didn't offer any advice, and well, now they do. This video is for entertainment purposes, you know, and I am not liable if someone you know has killed themselves this way. I mean, someone's bound to have done it already. I'm just saying, not my fault. For entertainment purposes only. Clearly not a serious video. So I'll put it out there. Because I don't want to be sued or something like that, or because I am fucking broke. I cannot afford anything